up, guys? Welcome back to Flashback Friday. And I want to take you guys back to a time when I didn't know myself. See, I used to let the world determine who I was and how I showed up on a daily basis. I had no confidence, no self-worth, no identity, nothing. If you said that I was a B word, then guess what? You ain't seen nothing yet. If you said that I was annoying, then guess what? I'm about to get on every last single nerve. If you said that I was loud, then I'm going to be even louder. And I realized that there's a difference between positive attention and negative attention. And since I was so used to receiving negative attention, that's all I desired. No matter what it was that I had to do, I was willing to do it because I wanted attention. And I didn't know myself enough to say, you don't have to do that for attention. You don't even have to look outside of you for validation. You can get and you already have every single thing that you need on the inside. So you don't need to show up in a way to make people look at you from a certain perspective. Be who you are. And I wish that I had those words to say to myself during those moments, but I didn't. And since I didn't, I showed up in this way that was so low vibrational. When I tell you low, I mean low. I made decisions that today I would never even think of because I now know myself. Like, I need you to realize that people will say things about you because of how they feel about themselves, and they will project that onto you. But it is so important for you to know who you truly are without the labels, without the expectations. Not even just your name. Know who you really are. Are you outgoing? Are you an introvert? It is so important for you to take some type of personality test. I took a DISC assessment. I took a different personality assessments. I think it's like the BIEC or something assessment. I took so many different assessments to better understand who I was. I just took a new assessment and it told me you are an encourager and you are a learner. That just all of the different personality tests that I took, and I put them all together and they're pretty much saying the same things. Then now I can say, what are the characteristics and attributes of this type of person? How can I show up like this version of myself? How can I further enhance these skills and these strengths that I already have within me? So I need you to take some type of personality test, whether it's a DISC assessment, whether it's any other assessment. There's so many other you can go on Google and type in free personality test. Trust and believe. You might get like 10, 20, 30 emails after you take the free assessment, but you're going to get your results, and you can use those results to see what type of person you are and how you respond in certain situations. When I took the DISC assessment, I found out that I was a high I, which I already knew I was a high I, but I was also a high D. And I realized that when I'm a high D, I'm tapping into the masculine side of myself. And when I'm a high I, I'm tapping into the feminine side of myself. But if I'm always purely tapped into my I and not my D, or I'm solely tapped into my D and not my I, then I'm making a decision off of a consistent baseline that isn't going to reflect who I am or who I need to be in that particular moment. So yes, it's so important to be a dominant person or a person that's very structured and orderly. But when it comes to certain things, I need to shift that and be a high I and be more compassionate, be more loving, be more open, rather than being a high D and my way, no way, nobody else's way. So knowing that about myself, I could say to myself, okay, tap into your I right now. Okay, tap into your D right now. But if you don't know that, then you can't tell yourself which version of you need to tap in, which strength you need to tap into. I remember I used to be in the middle of a negotiation. I'm negotiating hundreds of thousands of dollars for a real estate contract. And I'm high I. I'm like, where's Michale, where's the high D at? It's time for your high D to come out right now. But I'm in the middle of a negotiation, a high I. No. So you got to know when to be that version of yourself. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Make sure you take a personality test so you know yourself better. And don't just take one, take multiple, combine them all together, and then determine how. Ask yourself, how can I show up as this version of me? In what areas of my life do I need to show up as this version of me? So that you know, I can't be a high D all the time with my kids. Sometimes I got to be a high I. Sometimes I got to be a high D. But I need to know when I need to be that high D and when I need to be that high I. So make sure you guys take your personality test. That's all I got for you. Peace.